Traffic Vueling 3151 full established with Aviation 131. Malaga.
Good morning. How are we? Welcome to Thursday. And look, we can actually see the ground now at Malaga after last night. Nightmare stream last night coming here into Malaga. For those of you that missed it, we were coming in on final and I could see runway 13 lit up like a Christmas tree, but nothing on 12. It was completely dark. And I thought, oh no, maybe the runway just doesn't exist. Are we going to like land in a field or whatever? Turns out the runway was there, it just wasn't lit up. The ILS was tracking. I foolishly thought, oh, I'll do the last little bit by hand and disconnected the autopilot at like 50 feet and then the nose drooped, I think because my stick was naturally a little bit further forward. It wasn't quite in its neutral position. My mistake. And then the taxi was, of course, just as interesting because there was no ground textures. So I've updated all the scenery for Malaga. Seems to be a lot better this morning. We're back at gate 21, which is where we were dropped off last night by Malaga ground. They were really helpful actually getting us in because we really couldn't see. I was basically taxiing. I'll show you. I was taxiing using my Navigraph charts, looking at where the little pink arrow was, and taxiing based off that, not where, not what was in front of me, if you know what I mean. So we're flying the return leg today. It's part of the Mastering Bristol tour on the virtual airline over on New Sky. If you want to come join us, love to see you. I really like the Mastering Bristol tour and tours like it. Actually, it kind of makes you feel like you're a little Bristol pilot because the whole point is you fly from Bristol to somewhere and back, then to somewhere and back, to somewhere and back, to somewhere and back. So obviously we flew to Malaga last night, and now we're back early-ish doors, and we're going to head back to Bristol in the same plane. Airbus A319 IAE engines with the Sharks. Anyway, good morning to you all. MT, Joanna, Grumpy, Dan, Content, Radley, Philip, Bobby, and Doc, and HDH up in Twitch. Nice to see you all. Nice to see you all. Right, let's get the plane fired up, shall we? My eye tracker's working today, which is cool. It wasn't working last night. I think because... oh, Mike, thank you for becoming a member. Absolute hero. Thank you so much. Thank you. Very generous of you. Just realised my overhead panel isn't plugged in. That was a mistake, wasn't it? Let me just plug my overhead panel in 2 secs. That's better. Oh, thanks for that, Mike. Seriously, that's really cool. Really appreciate the support. Thank you. Right. Overhead panel. Battery. Hopefully it works. 1. Yeah, it does. 2. Overhead panel. I've left my navs on from last night. My bad. 1, 2, 3. Emergency lights on. Oxygen crew supplies on. Test the recorder, no smoking. Navs. There we go. Jolly good. I'm getting some intentions today. Should I get GSX Pro to go along with it? GSX isn't a bad idea. When it works, it's great. And it's been pretty good recently, to be fair to them. There was a period of time, when was it? Sort of like Christmas time? It felt like every day something would go wrong. Like one way or another. What's all this here then? There we go. Plane's coming to life. That's what we like. Smoke detector, that always happens. It's fine. Right, let's go over to the EFB. I wonder what the flight time will be today. Because the runways have changed, so the wind has changed. I don't know if the en route winds will be much different. Right, Malaga, back to Bristol, 2 hours 15. So it's actually a little bit quicker than the way down. Only just. Load aircraft, GSX.
Winning 3151, exiting runway 381, Malaga.
There we go. See it all come to life. See it all come to life. Okay, there goes the cargo. But where are the cargo trucks? I guess the fuelers are going to come first. Jet bridge, good. I saw Anybuilds put out a tweet like 20 minutes ago, half hour ago, saying something like big things are coming this week with a picture of the A380. So I guess that means A380 this week? Unless they're just trolling us and it's like the 1.0.6 update for the A220. That'd be really funny if they did that. That would be a bit harsh though, wouldn't it? You guys going to get the A220? I'll tell you what, let's do a poll. Let's do a poll. That's a good idea. Let's do a poll. Poll. There you go. Poll is up. Ask away. Oh, now the poll's covering up chat. Ah. Don't know. That's a fair point. All right, let me add a don't know option. Just end the poll. I'll do another one. Good point, Joanna. Right, there you go. I have to get rid of it again because it's over my chat. Go away. There we go. Hey, Saudi. You're sick right now. Oh, HH, that sucks. Hope you feel better. Right, passengers are coming. Fuel 9.155. I did the fuel correctly today, Grumpy. You'll be delighted to hear. So let's do a bit over here then. Atsu. AOC. Flight init. Init data request. There's going to be a lot of hype over that A380, I fancy. Oh, look, our alternate is Nuki. That's cool. Morning, Flashy. What's happening to the results now? Don't know is the highest answer. Oh, I don't know. It's moving pretty quick. It's moving pretty quick. 43% don't know, 29 yes, 29 no. All I can think of is that interview from The Office with Keith when they're doing like the little employee management meeting. Very much so. Not at all. Or don't know. Don't know. If don't know wasn't an option, what would you put? Don't know. Oh, comedy gold. Right, what am I flying at? Simbrief briefing preview 360, and then at Nozhu it wants us at 290, and that's over the channel. Alright, 360 is to start with then. My cost index 48. Am I going to get it? I don't know. I don't know. I feel a little bit once bitten, twice shy, to be honest. What am I doing coming out of here? Grumpy, you taking 3-0? Saying variable 5 knots, but they're all variable, aren't they? 3-0. BL and 4 Lima. You stand 4-6, which is 4-6. Oh, you're the 321 that's come down from Amsterdam. Good. Bristol, I've got 2-7. And Tojack 2 Bravo. I'll put BRI 1 for now. But it might be we vector ourselves. Probably will, to be honest. Secondary flight plan. LEMG. LEMG. And then we'll put in our departure, which is 30. And then I believe they're landing 31, so I'll put in ILS 31 Zulu. In case I need to come back. Good. Right, we're nearly loaded. Look at that. Just waiting on the fuel, in which case let's start the APU. In fact, no, we won't, because we're waiting for the fuel to be finished. I'll wait for the fuelers to finish before I start the APU. I'm sure we could start it anyway, but only a couple of tons of fuel left to go. We're going to make good time today. We're going to make good time today. Philip, if you're still there, I'm considering a chippy tea for tonight. Seeing as the wife and kids are away, I can't be bothered to cook. The question is, do I ask them for gravy? I don't know if they'd give us gravy down here, to be honest. Is that like a northern thing, the chips and gravy? I know they do curry sauce, but I've never once, A, seen anyone ask for gravy, because why would you? Second of all, I don't think I've ever recalled seeing them serve it. So I don't know. I thought you were into the gravy, Philip. Yeah, I'm not having packet rice again tonight, flipping heck. That was not good. That was not good. I mean, if I wasn't streaming last night, I'd have made something, but I can't exactly disappear for 20 minutes to prepare something. 2 minutes in the microwave. Cheesy chips, curry, and a battered sausage. That does sound pretty good, actually. But what do? Do you pour the curry sauce all over it? Or do you have the curry sauce in a little pot as a dipping thing? I'd probably be a dipper, I think. I don't like the idea. It feels like you can't recover from pouring it all over. Because it's then all over it. But at least you've got options if you keep it as a dip. Yeah, I was going to say, what's pudding chips? What's that all about? What was it my dad the other day? He said to me, he goes, he went to the chippy, he got 2 bits of medium fish, one for him, one for my mum, and he said they got a large chips to share, so the chips were separate, and he said it was £24. And he's like, I stunned. Just stunned. 24 quid. 2 bits of fish and a box of chips. What's happened? I mean, I don't really think... I mean, fish and chips is alright, don't get me wrong, but, like, is it really that great? To me, it's, like, bottom end of the scale when it comes to takeaway. It's, like, it's quick, it's easy, whatever, it's... You know, but you take, like, an Indian or a Chinese over fish and chips, surely. Right, where am I going? Need to be at 10,000 feet by Balin, or Balin, I should say. And we need to be above 7,500. I could just show you, that'd be much easier, wouldn't it? So we're out of here on 30. above 7,500. Then we start cracking on up to Ballon, where we must be above 10,000. So I'm going to start with 7,500 in the window, I think. Yeah, that's it, Joanne. I mean, it used to just be like, yeah, it's fish and chips, whatever. Like, it's nice enough. But I would never put it as like a luxury takeaway dish. You're complaining about the price of fish and chips, Grumpy. Well, I am. Well, I'm complaining on behalf of my dad. 2 medium bits of fish and a large box of chips for him and Mum to share, £24. So I ain't doing that again. So I don't blame you. I don't blame you. A tea cake? I've never heard of that one with fish and chips. That's a new one. We're very nearly ready to go, so let's send this over to the MCDU. Let's quickly do our departure performance. We'll sync our load sheet. That's all looking good. Sync the weather. It wants us to do flaps 2. I don't want to do flaps 2. Get out of here. There we go, that's better. So 130, 131, 136, flaps 1, up 0.3, flex temp 69. Good. Send. Nip page B is populated, block fuel's in. We are fueled, thank you GSX. And that has all come over lovely as well. Just going to check for any discontinuities that I might need to be aware of. Not that there's anything wrong with a discontinuity. I think some people get confused. They think discontinuity equals bad. Must delete. It's like they are actually there for a reason. Good. GSX. Beacon light on. I mean, I know what a tea cake is. I've never associated that with fish and chips. So do the chip shop, do they sell the tea cakes? Is that like a thing? Like even your Burger Kings, they've gotten to be loads. I went to pick my wife up from the station the other day, which for us is a long way away because we live in the back end of nowhere. By the time I got there, like her train was late and I was like, oh, I could eat. And there was a Burger King and I went up to the little touchscreen menu thing. And just for like a basic like Whopper meal, it's like 12 quid. So I'm not paying 12 quid for a burger and chips. You must be joking. That should be like $7.95 max. What's the matter with everyone? Now, I'm in a bit of an interesting position here. What do we reckon? Straight push and then a pull forward? Like, oh. If I were to get pushed over there and then pulled forward, I reckon that might be just a ticket. What's the difference between quick edit and quick pushback on map? I'm going to do the map anyway. So if I go there, via there... Oh, shit. Oh, I hate this. Double click waypoint to remove it. Double click. Why aren't you removing? Drag you a bit out there. We'll spin you around that way. How do I get rid of this little red tail? Clear the route. Start again.
Malaga traffic air, not 56 Tango. Push and start, stand 54, facing to the westerly direction, sort of.
Right, I reckon that'll do. Oh God, stop it. So push and then a pull. Let's see if that works. Oh, Ryanair's just arrived. Quick Edit does it in game using the drone cam. Okay. We'll give that a go next time. Malaga traffic, very good morning. Air 639 Papa, stand 2-1. Pushing back, straight push, then a pull onto Romeo 5, Malaga. Right. So we should be pushed. I'm going to start my engines afterwards, I think. Silent, there's a bit of shrinkflation going on with the burgers, do you? Wouldn't surprise me. My wife buys these like go-ahead bars. Not like the 3-packs that are like these little chewy bits of cardboard. They're like these more puffier things with some fruity stuff in the middle. Right, now pull me forward. Look at that, it's working. Fair play. Right, engine 1 start. And the box turned up and it's like, new! And I thought, oh good, like new recipe, new whatever. There you go, Joanna. Joanna's New Sky reminder app. And of course I hadn't started New Sky, so... Thank you, Joanna. Now the pop-ups come up. Yeah, they're like new flavour, new this, new that, and I thought, oh great. It turns out it's just like they're way smaller. And they're the same price. It's like, great, thanks guys. What's LEMG to EGGD at Malaga to Bristol?
Malaga traffic Air 56 Tango, taxiing to holding point Echo 11 runway 30 via Lima Delta.
Get the flaps out. Alright, auto brake set to max. 2 engines start. Turn the APU off. Taxi lights on. On the speed brakes. Ignition selector switch back to normal. Of course, I forgot to strap the passengers in. They'll be alright. We haven't gone far. Predictive wind chill will do when we get near the runway. Right, my taxi then is going to be Romeo 5 via gate 5.
Traffic winning 3148, pushing staff on the 46 Malaga.
Malaga traffic, air not 639 Papa, taxiing to runway 30, holding point Echo 11 via Romeo 5, gate 5, Alpha, gate 10, Lima, and Delta, Malaga. Right, hopefully you can see where we're going now. Brake test. They're working. Okay, slight kink to the left. Check out the old eye tracker. It's back, baby. Finally got it figured out. Yeah. It's good that it's back working again with Chase Plane. There's Easy getting ready to go.
Malaga traffic, air 056 Tango lining up runway 30 via Hotel Echo 1.
Right, we need to keep an eye out for Lima. This is gate 9. We want gate 10, I believe. This was just a mess last night. This was just like almost like Google Earth satellite view textures was all we were getting. It was not good for us. Yeah, you saw the 342. You spotted that one. Nice one. Raptor, how's it going? Welcome in, mate. Here we are, gate 10. So we're going to turn up here.
Malaga traffic, air 056 Tango, takeoff runway 30 on a Bravo Lima November for Lima departure.
Traffic winning 3148, taxiing to deploying runway. Runway 30 via Lima Delta and holding point Echo 11 Malaga.
There he goes. There goes Grumpy. We want the third right. Yeah, New Sky is good for the... that's one thing I really like about New Sky is the fact that planes are where you leave them. Now, today, that won't be the case because we're doing a tour flight, and that counts as a free flight. And a free flight, aircraft persistence doesn't happen with a free flight. But there is a toggle I could switch that would turn that on for free flights, believe it or not. But by default, it doesn't. I think free flights really need to... That's kind of like my get out of jail free card in a way. If someone says, oh, can you please make a route from here to here because it's near where I live, or something like that.
30, passing 2000, no further call.
And it just wouldn't be feasible really for the airline to have a scheduled route there because no one else but that one person would fly it. The free flight is the get out of jail free card. It's like, just do a free flight. Yes, we'll earn a little bit less money, but not loads less. And it means you can get to fly in whatever you want, providing we lease at least one of that aircraft type. And we try and lease the popular stuff. I've never used VAMSys or anything like that though, so I can't really comment on what they're like or not like. I mean, they've all got their quirks, haven't they? I feel like there's a load of things New Sky could do to improve, but I get the impression the dev's quite busy with other things. Like, I know there was a plan, potentially, for New Sky to be charged, at least for the VA owners, I don't know. But that never happened. But equally, it must cost them quite a lot to keep New Sky running every month. I mean, servers and compute costs are not nothing, are they? I don't think people fully take that into account. But I remember, like, even at my old web dev job, and we were just like a small-ish agency, but we'd offer hosting solutions for clients because they wanted it all with us, so they could just pick up the phone and yell at us if anything went wrong. They didn't want to have to deal with some cloud provider themselves. And it used to cost us a lot of money to rent those servers. Obviously, we made it back because we would obviously charge it on, but yeah, it must be a pretty penny for Robson to give us all New Sky. We mustn't forget that.
It's willing to go for 8, 9 up in the take off runway 32 at Malaga.
Malaga traffic air not 639 Papa. We're going to hold at Hotel Echo 1. Oh, stamped on the brakes there. My bad. Right, we'll let that one go because they've gone on to Echo 10. Predictive wind shear. Morning, Pete. Malaga traffic, Air 639 Papa, lining up waiting on runway 30 via Hotel Echo 1. About a couple of hours, Matt. Thereabouts. Probably 2:15 when all said and done. Right, where's that plane in front going?
Malaga traffic, Boeing 3148, passing 2,500 feet in Malaga.
Okay, it looks like they're going to go a different way to us. We should be good then. Malaga traffic, Air 639 Papa, taking off runway 30 on the bounty for Lima departure, Malaga. Everyone ready? Okay, Manflex, SRS green. No runway, which is interesting. So thrust blue.
Malaga traffic, Swiss ambulance 212.
V1.
On the point, Echo 1, runway
Rotate.
30 via Alpha Lima Delta.
Positive climb. Gear up. Almost at a turn immediately once you come out of 30. Levers into climb. You really can't hear a lot on the outside view, can you, in the Phoenix? Whereas that one's like a buzzsaw. Cheers, Oak. Appreciate it. Let's get those flaps away.
Malaga traffic, Easy 61 November Zulu, taking off runway 30 in Malaga traffic.
Malaga traffic, Air 639 Papa, passing 3000 on the bounty for Lima. Nice little wing view, this, isn't it? All thanks to this screen. If I didn't have this screen, I wouldn't be able to show you this, because I can just follow the flight directors. It's brilliant. Selection of hot beverages. There you go. That'll do me. Malaga traffic, A 639 Papa. Climbing now, flight level 360. Final call, Malaga. Where are you going? Malaga. Let's push to level off for a minute, shall we? Malaga traffic, A 639 Papa, levelling off at 8,300 to let the traffic passing across us do so from above. There you go. Perfect.
Malaga traffic, Swiss ambulance to line up and take off on a 30.
Sim audio's muted. What? Has that only just happened? Malaga traffic, N 639 Papa, climbing now, flight level 360, final call, Malaga. Been like it before takeoff. What the hell? Yeah, bloody hell, you're right. I can hear everything. Well, that's weird. I bet my Go XLR's having a moment. Let's get the autopilot on while I try to sort out this audio issue. Jim, how's the audio on Twitch? That's very weird. Okay, hang on. I'm gonna have to probably disconnect my Go XLR, which might ruin everything. 2 seconds. Only that sim? Can you hear me now? You can hear me, but not the sim still. What about that? You can hear that now. Oh, that was annoying. You can hear the sim. You can hear me. Can you hear me talking? Should be able to hear me. Well, that was mighty weird. We'll have to wait until somebody says something on frequency. See if we can hear them. Could you hear people on VATSIM? Morning, Murray. Yeah, it's a scenery bug. So I did have the scenery installed, but there was an update. So I ran the update and that got rid of it for the most part. Although runway 30 looked like it wasn't lit up at night when I tested it last night. But 1-2 was. Sorry, hold the line. More audio stuff going on here, I think. Good. I think that's it. Well, that was a bit of an annoying start to the takeoff, wasn't it? You got £1,000 in the bank for the PC. Well, that should cover the RAM. Sorry. Yes, I don't really know what all that was about, to be honest. With the sound, I rebooted my Go XLR, which is like my little audio mixer thing. Told OBS to repoint at it, and it was alright. Yeah, so £1,000 for the RAM, and then £500 for everything else. Madness. Silent, what are you saying? You're looking at building an events management platform. Got the idea fleshed out and the hosting costs as a solo project. You think it's going to be £120 a month at minimum scale? So what on earth is New Sky costing Robson to run? Like, I know some people kind of get frustrated sometimes that there's been a lack of development and features on New Sky. I know we were sort of, not promised, but it was discussed, wasn't it, about like an economy 2.0 where we actually compete on who can run the leanest operation versus just sheer number of flights, which I think is a great idea. Really, really great idea, because then the small guys can compete with the big guys. Because the big guys can run a very big inefficient operation if they're not careful, whereas the small guys can run a very small lean one and actually, as a percentage, be more profitable. And if it grades you on that, that could be really cool. But of course we haven't seen that because I think Robson's busy. But it must be costing him quite a chunk of change, I would have thought. I mean, you just imagine. I forget what it used to be. I looked at doing some hosting stuff once with AWS on their S3 bucket thing. So their S3 thing is basically just like storage online. So if you're going to host files, put it on S3. And then they charge you per gigabyte. And it's like, you do the math on it, and it's like, wow, that can ramp up quickly. That can really ramp up quickly. Like, look at fly-by-wire, just for them to deliver you the download for the A320X and the A380X. Remember when that launched? Everyone going to download it all at once? Probably cost them a ton of money. And we're not paying them a bean. Which I think is half the issue with FSLTL. I know we've done the liveries, we've developed them, we've submitted them, we're approved, we're all very excited, but they're not going to push an update until it's absolutely worth them pushing an update, because it's, A, they have to push everything. They can't just push the updated portion, you have to re-download the whole lot. So every single FSLTL user then potentially, over a period of time, because they're probably not all going to upgrade at once, has to re-download the entirety of FSLTL, which costs money. Now, I know some open source projects can get like bandwidth donated and things, but even that, like, you still have to be respectful. You can't just be like, screw it, someone else is paying, just do what you want. They got tons of donations. Yeah, so they should. But even with the donations, they have a responsibility to use those donations frugally, don't they? You would be amazed what servers cost. And we were paying thousands a month for ours at my old job. AvGeeks, I'd recommend maybe looking at some tutorial series on YouTube. I mean, I can't tell you right here, right now, how to fly the Airbus A320. It's far too in-depth to explain something like that on stream. Go and look at someone like A320 Sim Pilot, or sorry, 320 Sim Pilot, or maybe British AvGeek. He does really good mini-series like Cold and Dark, Cruise, Approach, Holds. That's exactly it, Gunnar, yeah. They charge you for the storage, and they charge you every time something leaves. Like traffic. You probably need to put... Have you linked your SimBrief account to the plane? I don't know then. Sorry. Are your engines off? Make sure your engines are off. You're not doing it like spawned on the runway with your engines on. That might cause it, I think. But yeah, I can't really give you a definitive... This is what it is, I'm afraid, on stream. It's really difficult. I remember clients at my old job thought we were trying to con them with hosting charges. Cheers, Philip. Have fun at the sim. Just looking for ATC en route. There's currently nothing. Would I recommend an ultra wide or dual 1440? I think dual 1440 would annoy me, having a crease right in the middle of me. Do you know what I mean? Like right in the centre bit of where you're looking. For me, I very much prefer a TV, a 4K TV, because you get a lot of height with the TV. Like I'm on a 43-inch TV. I've tried simming on a 32-inch 1440p monitor, and by contrast, it feels like you're playing a game. Makes it feel a bit like a toy. Put a TV in front of you, all of a sudden it starts to feel more like a simulation. That's just my point of view. But TVs you can get dirt cheap, like £300. I've got a 43-inch. Because there was a point in time where I had my 4080 Super still, and I was struggling at 4K with the VRAM. So I was like, oh, what if I got a 32-inch 1440p monitor? That would have variable refresh rate, be lower resolution, easier on the VRAM. 32-inch should be big enough, I thought, and as soon as I booted it up, I was like, nope, not doing that. Put the TV back. I saw like Hisense have got quite a nice looking one that has variable refresh rate. The only thing I don't like about mine is that it's 60 Hz locked. That's what I don't like about it. It has no variable refresh rate. But I never really bought this TV for simming, weirdly. I bought it as a TV. And then I suddenly thought one day, oh, I wonder. And I turned it on, I was like, holy shit, I'm never going back. That's it. Teach me? Do you have any platforms to teach me on? What are you talking about, AvGeeks? Teach you what? For an ultra-wide, what hertz would I settle for? So with the whole like high refresh rate on monitors, keep in mind I'm also like a gamer. Like I like to play games. Call of Duty, Counter-Strike, Halo, all that sort of stuff. High refresh rate gaming is amazing, but for the sim I'm not sure it matters. Like I don't know what we're getting right now. I would estimate 50. Oh, 57, there you go. Not quite 60, so we're not quite giving my monitor the lock 60 it would prefer, but whatever, it's good enough. And even if we're at like 40, the movement is so slow on the sim anyway, you're not gonna notice it. It's not like we're in the final circle of a game of Warzone, is it? But in general, when it comes to high refresh rate gaming monitors, I've used up to a 360 Hz display. I can't tell the difference, not really. Once you go from 60 to like 144, 165, 180, that because you sort of get various numbers, don't you, in the 100 and something region. Once you're at that level, I would say that's enough. I tried a 240 Hz and I played Valorant on it so that I knew the PC could actually feed it 240 frames. I really couldn't. You could tell, but you couldn't tell. It's like you start wondering if you're feeling it or not feeling it. And then 360, I was like, I don't know really. I started to question actually whether the pixels could transition fast enough to keep up with the 360, because that's the other thing. It's all well and good saying, oh, I've got a 360 Hz monitor. It's like, right, okay then, so that's 360 frames in a second maximum, 1,000 milliseconds in a second. So that means that your pixels need to have an average response time of 3 milliseconds. Otherwise, they're not going to be able to keep up with each frame, because by the time they've finished, the pixels are finished twisting for the new frame, the next frame's already happened. So it's not a true 360 Hz experience. It's, yes, the monitor is like polling at 360 Hz, but the pixels are lagging behind. But yeah, I couldn't really tell the difference at 360. But 60 to 144 is like night and day. Night and day. Much beyond that. I mean, I've got a 165 Hz Dell monitor next to me. I've got a 165 Hz, well, that's the 1440p 32-inch that I bought in the house. A gigabyte. They're fine. They're all fine. Welcome back, Cork. Back at it again today, mate. Got to get the hours in after my little holiday to Dublin. Things with TVs, I can pretty much only run 1440p. It might have some issues with blurring, apparently higher end TVs have better upscaling. True. That is true. What graphics card have you got? Like you could do 4K DLSS if you really have to. But yeah, take your point. You could just get a big 1080p TV. Yeah, so 5060, 5070, 1440p I would say is where you need to be aiming at. 4K might be without upscaling. Might not be the best idea. I do have a 40-inch 1080p TV upstairs. It's well old. I do wonder how well that would work with the sim. Like if you've got like a 3070 or a 3060 Ti, that kind of card. I mean, I've ran 1440p on my 4K TV before. It's not awful. I mean, I can turn it on now if you want, but you won't be able to tell the difference because the stream is at 1080p, so... But it's a good year to buy a gaming monitor, given that everything else is so expensive. Maybe this year is the year you should be looking at your accessories, like your monitors, your keyboards, your mice, your whatevers, your headsets. If you are looking, obviously don't upgrade them if you have no plans to upgrade them, but if you've been on the fence, it's a good year for all of that. Whereas the PC, not so much. But I feel like ever since COVID, it's always been like, oh, it's a bad time to build a PC. There was a brief window, I think 23, 24, where it looked alright, and then it all went down the pan when AI started getting on up there. So what can you do? What I can do, however, is make a cup of coffee, because I'm absolutely gasping for one. Disconnect from VATSIM. I should make a little button, really, shouldn't I, on my stream deck for when I go to make a coffee. It can run ads for you all. Sorry. No way, Hawk. 27-inch OLED, 3rd gen, for $329. Where'd you get that from? That's got to be second hand, right? Is it worth paying the extra for an OLED monitor? An OLED monitor would worry me, truth be told. With image retention. And I know they've gotten better, but fundamentally, how the technology works, they can and do burn. Particularly if you've got 12 hours of this. That is going to burn an OLED. Day long. If you have a look at is it that website Artings, like ratings, they've got a YouTube channel where I think they're doing like a burn-in test. I think even like Linus from Linus Tech Tips, he got himself an OLED monitor as like a bit of a trial in his office, and he does like split screen, like you know how on Windows you can say like left hand side of the screen is this application, right hand side is this, which of course then means you've got a very thin line down the middle where the two meet. He's like, I can't unsee that line now, like even if I'm just on my desktop, it's like there's a line down it. Like I'm on the fence about whether to change the TV in the house, and it's like, oh, do I get an OLED or do I just get a, you know, local array dimming LCD? Even though I yearn for an OLED, I know what the boys are like. They're going to bloody play Minecraft on it for hours, and they're probably going to walk away and leave it, even though I tell them not to. And then that Minecraft HUD is going to get burnt into the bottom of a beautiful OLED, and I'm not sure I could live with that. And that would probably upset me more than is reasonable. Maybe like something like a Sony Bravia 7 or something like that. Like a half decent LCD. Yeah, I mean, if you're in the market for a TV, really, Black Friday is probably the thing to wait for, isn't it? Although I don't recall Black Friday ever being that great. There was 1 or 2 deals. Keep in mind, I used to work at Currys on the tech support department, so I was aware of what went on sale and what didn't. And half the time I'd look at it and be like, well, it's no wonder it's on sale. This is the crap nobody ever buys. Or they would just inflate the price for like a number of months prior to it going on sale to then be able to declare a sale. But yeah. Fairly certain they used to do that with laptops. Like, you'd see this laptop and you think, oh, that's awfully expensive for what that is. In like April, May time. June, July, it's like, surprise, back to school sale. This one's now like £200 off. It's like, no, it's the price it should have been, probably. Just far too expensive. They're sharks. Absolute sharks. Anyway, I need to get a cup of coffee. I am disconnected from VATSIM. I'll enjoy you. Have a nice wing view. I'll see you in a minute. Yo! What did I miss? Let me just reconnect. Right, let me have a look at that link that Hawk sent. I want to have a quick look at that. Where'd you put it, Hawk? PC hardware? Let's have a look-see. So that's not that unreasonably priced in the first place, though, Hawk, is it? $429. I thought it'd be more than that. Wow. That's a good price. They've come down a hell of a lot, haven't they, OLEDs? Flipping heck. I mean, I paid that nearly for my current 27-inch IPS in 2021. That's great. Any opinions on this monitor, Lenovo? Best advice I can give you is to look at a channel. If you haven't found it already, you probably have if you've been searching for monitors. It's Monitors Unboxed. It's if you ever watched Hardware Unboxed, it's the monitors version of that. Tim, who does the reviews, he's like a full-on monitor nerd. He knows everything about them. That would be my advice to you. But what I would say is it's easy to become lost in the graphs and the charts. Hi, Charlie. Sometimes you just got to look at a monitor or a TV to know if you like it. Right, where's my browser? Here it is. Daily obsessive check on FSLTL's GitHub. No, they've not done anything for 3 weeks. Oh. Ah, it's Arash from VIDP Tower. There's only one thing for it. Hey, Harish, there you are. I just got your DM. I haven't done Wordle yet today. Need to have a quick go at Wordle real quick. I've done Wordle in ages. I'm behind on my Wordle game. Okay. R something 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 Y. Okay. Thoughts? Dairy. Can't be dairy because the A's gone and the I... Oh no, we got an I. Sorry for the confusion, Hawk. And Charlie. And the other Charlie. Come on, you lot. Can't keep relying on me to do Wordle every day. I was going to say Dusty, but no. So the R has to be in the middle. Doesn't it? Something you are, something Y. Furry? No, it can't be that. Could be curry. No, it can't because the R's not in the fourth letter. Oh, it could be Q, U. No, it can't. Could it? No. Oh, I'm struggling with this one. Burpee? Could be burpee. No, of course it's not burpee. M? Or M first letter? I still can't see it. Murky? I'm the king of Wordle. And so is Gunner by the look of it. Right, dare we do this while in cruise? That's actually a really good price for the CPU, 9800X3Ds down to 360. But how much is the RAM at the moment? Oh my giddy aunt. Is it me or has it come down a bit? Oh no, it hasn't. I mean, a 32 gig kit, 350, that's... I know that's a lot. Why is that so much more than that? 424 for the non-RGB. 6000, 12 nanosecond, 36 CAS latency. Whereas 350 for the one with RGB. Or was that one of those where you can't actually buy it? No, Corsair will sell it to you, 350. What about a 64 gig kit though? Sweet Lord baby Jesus. Look at those numbers. Look at mine's gone up even more now. Oh my days. That was 979 the last time we looked and we were shocked. Now it's 1050. Flippin' heck. 170 I paid for that. 18 months ago. 170. That's more than 5x. That is ridiculous. Absolute madness, that is. Or if you can tolerate a bit slower, you can go 765. And Scan have got it in stock, allegedly. Good God. That is just so outrageous. You can see why people are doing pre-builts. But then some of the pre-builts are now doing, like, we'll sell you everything except the RAM. God, alright, let's put a cooler on it. Hey, it's mine, look. That's got quite cheap, 35 quid. Peerless Assassin. That's a great little cooler, that one. That's what I've got on mine, and it works an absolute treat. Set it and forget it. No need to worry about all-in-one coolers clogging up over time or custom loops leaking. Just screw that down. Never think about it again. Motherboard. Yeah, these seem to be okay in terms of price. Not a huge difference to what I remember. My God. Trying to find my motherboard. I don't even remember what I got now. That's bad. I should remember that. B850, I think I went for. I think I went B850. Because then that way I didn't have to do a BIOS update when I put my chip in. What did I go for? MSI. It was an MSI something. Where'd you focus? Brand. Here we go. MSI. It's a B850 Pro-P Wi-Fi, but the full-size one, not the M80X. There it is. That's been alright, that motherboard, and again, 140 quid. Very reasonable. Just ridiculous. Storage is another one that's gone up as well, isn't it? So if you want how much for like a 1 terabyte decent? 174 quid for a terabyte. Ugh. And I wouldn't recommend getting a terabyte. I've got a terabyte in the house and I'm constantly on the edge of filling it up. I'd have to go at least 2. I'd have to go 2, I think. Do you go too slow, or do you go 2 terabytes of fast stuff? I mean, just for context, this SN850X here for £300, I didn't pay much more than that for a 4 terabyte one. Not that long ago. It's crazy. Oh man, if I was spending my own money doing it today, what would I do? I'd probably cheap out and get a 1 terabyte initially and tell myself I'll upgrade down the road. It's probably what I would do. Dunno. That's a hell of a lot of money. Yeah, so my SSD now is £500 for an SSD. Oh. You can see why this Kingston one is selling so well. It's probably got no DRAM though, right? Does the job, does the job, does the job. Works well. Can't complain. Yeah. Alright. Let's do that then. So what are we up to? 669. And we've done processor, motherboard and RAM. No, we haven't done RAM. Only done SSD. Have I thought about the Moser MCDU? Watch this space, Hawk. Right, come on then. Memory. How much RAM are we using like right now? $20 out of 63 gig. And we've peaked at 25. So you can do it, can't you? You can do it on 32. Now, what it is, Hawk, they sent me their EFIS FMC, but the courier absolutely smashed it to bits. And they've just sent replacements. So, obviously I've missed the launch window, all the high... I even said to them, I was like, do you want to just call it a day? Like, there's probably no point me even making a video now, because all the other guys have made theirs. Everyone else has probably... Everyone's already watched what they're going to watch, probably, by this point. Like... but they were like, no, we'll send it. Like, I was like, okay, fine. And good for them, really. Ah, Pigas, we're just making a PC. This is what I've gone for so far. So the CPU isn't too badly priced. $359, that's come down. As the X3Ds always do. They always start at like $450, don't they? Or $479 or something. But give it a year or so, they come down. I've gone for a Peerless Assassin. Why? Because you can just set it and forget it and it's cheap. Motherboard. This is the motherboard I have and I'm very happy with it. I would buy it again. 140 quid, job done. And a 1TB, presumably DRAM-less SSD. But looking at the price of them, probably alright. Issue I've got with my FMC EFIS from Moser I was playing with it yesterday, it's like it's in some sort of read-only mode. So if I change the values using my mouse in the plane, their screens on their thing update, whereas if I twizzle the dials, it does nothing. And I can't get to the bottom of why it is. I've tried it on both my PCs, it's the same. And on the unit that got smashed up, when it did turn on, albeit wasn't in a good shape, it was the same behaviour on that one. So I'm at a complete loss as to what to do. So I'm talking to them, seeing if they can help me out. Because obviously, all the other reviewers didn't have problems. Unless there were other reviewers that did and just chose not to post a review and kept quiet about it. I don't know. But yeah, I'm working with them. Yeah, only thing with that, Pegas, is that you have to run a HDMI pop-out for the screen with that PU Air Korea one. Right, memory. What would I do? I don't know if I could afford to go 64 again at these prices. Like, what's the cheapest we can get 64 gigs for? That's in stock. $619. TL. Doesn't even have a heatsink on it. $629 if you want a heatsink. $5,600, 46. It's not going to be the quickest stuff, is it? Trouble is, you don't want to necessarily end up with a kit of 2 sticks of 16 and then think, oh, I'll do 2 more sticks of 16 when I can afford it, because running 4 sticks of DDR5 is harder on your memory controller if you're running it like in its over, because obviously here it says like DDR5 6000 out of the box. It's not going to run at 6000. You need to enable what's it called, Expo in the motherboard, and it's easier then for it to maintain that with 2 sticks than it is to do 4. Yeah, Hawk, I've also got the Airbus thing here, and MCDU. The buttons are still soft touch rubber, much like the wind control one is. However, it's a much firmer, more stable rubber. So if you sort of hit the corner of a key, the button doesn't sort of deform like it does on the wind control one, and therefore you end up with a press that doesn't register as a press. But then I'm having software issues with the MCDU in the same way I am with the FCU. It's like it's in this weird read-only mode. There's something weird going on. I need to figure it out. Well done, Pegas. Affiliate links below. Make me rich. Yeah, at the moment during my testing, if I press buttons on the Moser MCDU, it doesn't do anything on the plane in the sim. But if I sort of go into the plane and come down and start mousing around, it then updates on the physical MCDU. But if I press buttons on the physical MCDU, nothing happens on there, on the plane. So something's gone awry somewhere. So I don't really know what to do. Initially I thought maybe it was a software conflict, like on my sim rig here, like I don't know whether like SimApp Pro was conflicting or my WinBrid, Wing Flex stuff, because I've got software for that. SPAD was running. So I thought, I know what, I'll go into the house, which is just my regular gaming PC. Installed the sim, installed the Moser cockpit software, plugged it in, USB, same thing. So I don't know. I really don't know what to do. So I'm talking to their tech team at the minute. Very strange. It's possible. Yeah, I mean, these do nothing. Like, nothing. Consistently. I just cannot get it to do a thing. Except to match what I set in the sim with my mouse. It's really bizarre. I was hoping to do a Battle of the FCUs video, basically, so I could get the wing control one, I could get the wing flex thing that I've got here, and I could get the Moser, and I could be like, here's all three, here's all the differences. But until I can get the Moser to do something, I feel like I can't really... Software conflict. Yeah, but Hawk, I've tried it on another PC that's like, just got a vanilla install of Flight Sim 24, plus a Phoenix. All I do on that other PC is play Call of Duty, basically. There's nothing on there, really, that should conflict. I mean, at the end of the day, it should work. You know what I mean? Like, every other manufacturer does. Just plug it in and it works. I don't know what to say. I've tried beta versions of the Moser cockpit, I've tried the release version of the Moser cockpit, I've tried different USB ports, USB 2, USB 3, front USBs, back USBs. I'm at a total loss as to what to do. Like initially I thought the first one didn't work because of the shipping damage, because when I loaded the Moser cockpit software, when you pull the heading dial, that obviously kind of lights up a button in the software to say yes, you're pulling it, and you release it and the light goes off. But it was constantly locked on as a result of the shipping damage. And I thought, well, maybe that being constantly locked on is therefore blocking any other signal getting out of the unit. So yeah, they sent a replacement unit. I spent about 2-3 hours yesterday trying to get it all to work. I still couldn't get it to work. So I'm really confused. Really, really, really confused. Lovely unit though. Like, physically, it's really nice. Really, really nice. Like, just want it to work. Do you know what I mean? Then like other reviewers obviously just put their reviews out, and so it must have worked for them. So I don't know what it is with me that's making it weird. Okay, I'm not blaming Moser, to be clear. Like, something going on. I just need to figure out what the hell it is. But at the same time, every other bit of kit I've had from every other manufacturer has been more or less plug and play, and it works. So we shall see. What FCU ethos would I recommend? Well, if you're not obsessed about it being one-to-one scale, the wing flex is pretty good because it brings components up from the pedestal and puts it up here. So like this is an RMP, albeit I'm not using it right now because I've got the wing control one down here. If you'd rather have full scale, because this is like 80% scale, this one, and they're quite pricey. They're like 199, 199, 199, so you can quite easily spend $600. Albeit they've got a little bit of a sale on, but it doesn't make a lot of difference. Yeah. Then, if you want one-to-one, I suppose it comes down to, do you want Moser or wind control? Wind control is obviously the cheapest. If you've already got other wind control hardware, I guess you might take some comfort in having everything from the same vendor, ecosystem, if you like. Not having to run 2 sets of software and 2 sets of places to update firmware and this, that and the other. The Moser one does feel higher quality, I would say. Just. Not by much, but it does feel like the buttons feel... They've got like a nice soft touch, soft push action, like they've got a bit of travel and you sort of, I guess kind of like a gamepad controller, like an Xbox or a PS5 controller with like the X, circle, triangle buttons. Like there's a nice sort of push to them, isn't there? Wind control ones, the buttons on them feel more like the engine fire switchy things that come on your throttles. These ones here, either side of the ignition start. In that it's a very much like a click when you press it. But they're building it to a price, aren't they? They're building it to a price. So my plan is to integrate the wind control one out here soon, because they've been kind enough to send one over. It's been here for like a month. I haven't had a chance to get it built into all this yet. I'm probably going to wait until I rotate this way, which I may do after today's stream, because that's going to be a big old job. I didn't want to do it last night because then I would potentially be wrecking today's stream by having my setup in bits. So yeah, we'll see about that. I got to get that Moser one figured out. It must be something. I must be missing something. I really must be. It should just work, right? You got the Moser cockpit software, you've got the stuff, plug it in, it should work. So why isn't it working? How am I finding the TCA yoke? I'm thinking of a new yoke soon, probably the Moser one. Yeah, the yoke market is developing, isn't it, at pace at the moment. Honestly, Hawk, at this point, I feel like I've tried everything. Like, I've tried even running Moser cockpit in administrator mode. I've made custom rules in Windows Firewall just to make sure there's nothing going on there. And I've just detailed everything I've done and sent it to their tech team to be like, guys, have you got any idea? Like, I'm really struggling here. Really struggling here. I'm going to have a look at power management on the USB ports later. That's my next port of call. But then, again, 2 separate PCs. 2 different motherboards. The one out here and the one in the house. It's, very strange. But I do have a USB hub, although I am not using it for the Moser thing. I've gone straight in to both USB 2, USB 3, all the different various USB port configurations. It wants USB 3, so... Yeah, so for out here I've got a... What have I got? I think the box is out here somewhere. Hang on. Got this. Not that you can see it. It is a Sabrent 16-port USB 3 data hub and charger with individual switches, brackets 90 watts. Great name. But of course it all does start to add up, doesn't it? You've got like your overhead, your AGP, you've got your ECAM panel, the throttles, the MCDU, the RMP, the TCAS, your yoke, your stick, the tiller, the rudder pedals, Tobii eye tracker. Doesn't take long, does it? It doesn't take long. Right, where am I? I must be over the Bay of Biscay, right? Yeah, just. God, I've got bloody ages to go yet. Dragging on this, isn't it? We still haven't built that PC. But yeah, physically, I really like the feel of the Moser FCU EFIS. I've got it here if you want to see it. Ta-da! No, it's lovely stuff. Like the button, the feel of the dials, the push, the pull, the stability of the especially the altitude switch. I noticed on the wind control one, if you sort of wiggle it, there's a little bit of movement. This one, there is obviously still some movement because it is ultimately just a little switch. Just feels a bit more stable. I mean, I thought this was going to cost a fortune when they told me about it. I really thought it was going to cost a fortune. And then they told me the price. I was like, damn, okay, fair enough. I guess we've all got wind control to thank for that, because they've brought the prices right down, I think, industry-wide, haven't they? I think ATC's gone now at Malaga Grand Prix. We don't have to feel so bad about that. Just ordered the 60 watt to replace my 30 watt. Really annoyed I can't find one where the outlets can lie flat. Outlets can lie flat. What do you mean, Dunk? Grumpy saying the poll's interesting. What's happening in the poll? Oh! Oh my word, that is surprising. 44% say no. 27% say yes, 29% say dunno. If don't know wasn't an option, what would you put? Dunno. That is surprising. Legitimately. I thought it'd be like 70% yes, I really did. I think my plan will be possibly... We'll put some in the VA. We'll see how that goes. I may have to buy it just to make a livery. Unless I can make a livery and send it to one of you guys that owns it. Save me buying it. Like, whether I like it or not as a plane... Am I going to fly it that often? Probably not. Probably not. I mean, I don't really fly the fly-by-wire one as it is, so... Yeah. Doesn't really suit the sort of routes I like to do. But I hope you all have fun with it. And I hope it's good. I hope it doesn't need like 600 updates to make it good. Hopefully they've learnt from that. What would you do? 64 or 32 gigs of RAM then? 629 for the cheapest stuff. Oh, I don't know what to do. I'm gonna have to go 32, I think. What's the highest reviewed stuff? Oh man, it's just so much. It's like any way you turn, it's a bad decision. We haven't even looked at GPUs yet. Okay, let's just go with 32 gigs of this stuff. Shall we? Decision made. What are we up to? 1,541 and we... Oh, why have I selected that twice? That's why. Thought that was a bit much. 1,105 and we don't have a power supply, we don't have a case, we don't have a video card, we don't have a monitor or a keyboard or a mouse. Oh god. Okay. 9070. That seems quite reasonable, doesn't it? 5070, 12 gig, 600 quid. 5080 is... Look at that. What's the cheapest 5080 at the minute? I'll have to do a Philip. Just nip out for a 5080. Cheapest one on here is 1,150 for a Palit Gaming Pro. Wow. But even like the Windforce Gigabyte, which is their cheapie, isn't it? That's a small form factor too. So basically 1,200 if you want a 5080. Dare I look at a 5090? Oh god. 3.5 grand is the cheapest. It's not, it's out of the question, isn't it? Can you still get a 7900 XTX? Oh, you sort of can. XFX. Where are you getting these from? Amazon, look. It's quite a cute looking card. You can still get them, albeit it doesn't take long for them. They're not in massive supply though, are they? You can get an XFX Speedster. Out of stock, out of stock, out of stock. But it is in stock at Amazon, it would seem. 900 quid. Oh, you know what? I'd be tempted to go with that again. Just from a money point of view. Because what does 900 quid get you from Nvidia? Like really, what does it get you? So if we start at 900 on the filter, 883, that's near enough. So what are our options? $5070 Ti, which is roughly in the ballpark of a 4080, isn't it? There or thereabouts. $5080 PC cost him 2 to 2.5 grand. Yeah, I'm not surprised. I got a 5080 and regretted not getting a 5090. Yeah, well, I had the same thing. I got a 4080 and immediately became... Well, not immediately, because in 2020 it was fine, but when 24 came out, I got absolutely hammered on VRAM, and it just wasn't enough to play it on my 4K TV at the settings I wanted to play at. Oh. I mean, just for the VRAM alone, it would sort of make you consider, wouldn't it, going AMD again? But they're gonna run out sooner rather than later, I think. Or you go 3090. Currently on your first VATSIM flight? No way. I'll see you on the ground, hopefully. How you doing, Shah? Yeah, I feel like I wouldn't necessarily have chosen this 7900 XTX, truth be told. But, again, the pricing, it's hard to ignore given that it solves the VRAM issue. Right, what about a case? That's a good case. I've got the Montec XR. I've got the white version inside. Where is it? There it is. 45 quid for the white version. 3 RGB fans. Cracking little case that is. Thoroughly recommend it. That's got my old 5800X3D 4080 in the house. Brilliant little case. For the money. It's basically like a NZXT, but slightly worse in every way, but you don't mind because the price is right. Right, power supply. Have they gone up as well? How much for 1000 watt these days? Corsair RMX 1000X 130. Okay. Doesn't look like they've been hammered in the same way as everything else. 109 look for the 25 edition. I'd probably go 1000 watt because I'm on an 850 right now, but I feel like I should have gone more because if I was to ever get a 5090 or whatever, not that that's going to happen with the current state of the market. Yeah, I kind of wish I'd gone 1000. So what are we up to? 2100. Alternatively, if you didn't want this and you were willing to sacrifice some VRAM, you could go something like 4070 Ti. Or go for the Asus ROG Astral OC for £4,489. And that's not too bad, is it? 679 for the 9070. Depends how much you want an AMD card, or rather how much you don't want an AMD card. I know some people are very... I will not buy AMD. But yeah, if you wanted a 5070 Ti... Where are you? Which is roughly 4080 performance, isn't it? Shade less, but... Which one do we get? Sort by price? It's going to be 900 quid, isn't it? Thereabouts. Gigabyte Aero AC. That one looks quite nice. You're doing a white build. $2,204. That's with 32 gig of RAM and a 1 terabyte SSD. If we up the RAM, if we absolutely want 64, but that looks 6,000. I'd probably go with that. That's quite cheap. I say it's quite cheap. It's not as expensive as everything else. Yeah, 2.5 grand. I was landing the TriStar and forgot to turn off the auto throttle, so when I went into reverse and pressing on the brakes, I was actually getting full thrust. Uh-oh! Oh, I did wonder, Grumpy, whether we'd get control into Bristol, because, what's it, is it Dan? I think he quite often does Thursdays. Oh no, not Dan, someone else. Yes, it is Dan. Yeah. Okay, Grumpy, thing to remember, I think Dan will ask you to contact him on tower. So you'll be on radar, and he'll probably ask you to contact him on tower as well. Yeah, dual frequency in use. Departing traffic call 133855, which is tower. So just be ready for that. Get tower in your standby because you'll be asked to switch to it. Which is technically the correct thing to do, I think. Where are you going? Newcastle. Nice. What did you buy from Curry's? A PC Specialist, AMD Ryzen 7, 5080, 2TB SSD. What's the chip? CPU, precisely? Oh, content. I'm sorry, mate. That sucks. Well, it's good that we should get a bit of Bristol. I'm looking forward to that. That'll be cool. Yeah, I think I'm going to do it, you know. Once I end the stream, I'm going to rearrange my shed. I'm doing it. I may live to regret doing it, but I'm going to do it. Otherwise, I'll never do it. And now's a pretty good time to do it. The wife and kids are away. Am I Bristol based? I mean, Bristol's my local airport, but I don't live in Bristol. It's still like 2 hours away in the car. Right, I'm 200 miles from top of descent. Got Brittany coming up, then it's the English Channel, then we'll have a chat to good old Dan on Bristol Approach. He quite often does Thursdays on Bristol. I half wondered if we'd see him today. I kind of half hoped we would, so that's nice. There are some 5090s on eBay for 1,500 quid. Yeah, I think you're probably going to get like a Game Boy turn up if you order that. I think the only way I would consider a 5090 at this stage in the game is if I could get a Founders Edition for MSRP. And then really that's like graphics card done for the foreseeable, isn't it? I mean, I don't know if we're going to get a 6090 at any point soon. But if we do, that could be a lot. Like a lot. I dread to think how much. Surely 6090 Founders Edition, they're going to go like $24.99. You would think. It's just so much. I don't know what people are expected to do. Any builds A380 has to be the bomb, otherwise fly-by-wire will be the better option. Oh, cheers, Hawk. I'll have a look. I'm surprised by the poll, actually. I thought lots of you would be into the A380. I really did. And here's what I noticed with the A220. I ran a similar poll prior to the A220 coming out. And it was very heavily in favour of, yes, I'm going to buy it. If I recall. Not massively. It wasn't a landslide, but a lot of people wanted to buy it. Then I ran a poll a few days later saying, did you actually buy it? And lots of people said no. So there's like the pre-release, yes, I'm going to buy it, versus post-release, did you actually buy it? They can be quite different. So we'll rerun this poll. Obviously different people may well answer, so, you know, make of it what you will, but it's interesting. Very interesting. Right, guys, I need to pop into the house. I won't be long. Have some nice views. See you in a moment. Yo ho. Oh, you're in Denmark, Mike. Nice. Right, we're 146 miles away from top of descent. I'm guessing Dan may vector us in for 2.7. So we'll keep that in mind. Hello, Tom. Have I heard anything on the Moser FCU and EFIS? I got mine yesterday and I must say I really do like it. Doc, I've got it here, but I can't get mine to work. we were just talking about it earlier. The quality feels great. I just can't get it to work. If I turn the dials, it does nothing. But if I turn the dials with my mouse, the values on the screens update on the Moser. So it's like there's one-way communication. I've tried it on 2 PCs, and I'm so confused. What I want to do when I get it working is compare the Moser, the Wingflex, and the Wing Control one, and give you guys a bit of a which one should you buy style video. That's the plan, but I can't do that until I can get it working. It's super annoying. Did I open up the software and update it? Yes. Yep. All the firmware's been updated, software is updated. I'm even running the software in administrator mode, non-administrator mode, different USB ports, USB 2, USB 3, my front USB ports. I've even made custom rules for Windows Firewall just in case that was blocking something. I'm just so confused right now. I'm guessing yours just worked when you plugged it in, right? But it feels great. Like, the actual quality of it feels wonderful. The unit is a good unit, quite clearly. I just cannot fathom what's going on. If it's happening on both PCs, 2 separate PCs, one of which has just got a vanilla install of 24 on it, with the fly-by-wire plane installed. I just can't work it out. I just cannot work it out. So I feel like it's probably a me thing. I don't think it's a Moser thing. So I'm not, like, angry at Moser, because other reviewers came out with their reviews. Obviously people are buying them, like you, Doc, and it's working. So, I don't know. I just really want it to work. I want to play with it. I want to, you know. Well, I've had it since Sim Update 5, Joanna. Same issues back with Sim Update 5. Unless I just reset my PC and, you know. But then if it's doing it on 2 separate PCs, what's the common thread? It's got to be the installation of the sim, surely, if it's pulling something from the cloud across both installs that might then... I don't know. What modes are we talking about? The FCU and EFIS, not the yoke. How are you finding the AY210? I saw they did a cheaper version as well, didn't they, of that? Which looks cool. GPU is a 7900 XTX and my monitor's a 4K TV. My only reservation with that AY210 would be that it's like a GA style push-pull yoke, isn't it? And one thing I really like about this Thrustmaster yoke, albeit it's not force feedback, is that it kind of is pendular. Kind of bowing style. I do really appreciate that. Firmwares are all updated, Joanna. The app is all updated. The firmware on each EFIS and FCU module is updated. I've basically sent a big list of everything I've tried to Moser, and I've been like, can one of your tech guys please have a look, because I just don't know what to do anymore. I'm totally lost. I was there for like 2-3 hours yesterday just trying everything. Which is why I was grumpy last night and I said it's all gone wrong today. Everything I've tried's gone wrong. And that's what I was talking about. Right then, 100 miles from top of descent. That's generally when I start to look at what's going on nearer my destination. So Dan is saying 27 is in use. It's wet, wet, wet. Rainy at Bristol. Interesting. Okay. Bristol 27. Do we go then 5? Because Dan's put 555. Do we put 5 in? What's my landing weight going to be? It's going to be 50. Hang on. No, it's not. It's going to be 60.3. So we'll have auto brake medium. And I'll put in my approach stuff. So QNH 1006. 17 degrees. And it is 270 and 12 for the wind. And our decision height is 801 feet. Jolly good. Hello, Josh. When I plug it in, do the lights come on? Yep, all the lights come on. So, for example, if I was to turn the dial in the plane on my altitude thing, the screen updates with the number. It keeps in sync with what I'm doing with my mouse in the sim. If I press like the constraint button, the little green light comes on, autopilot, auto throttle, all that works. But if I push or twizzle anything on the actual physical unit, plane doesn't do a thing. Both for the fly-by-wire and the Phoenix. My phone's ringing. So it's almost like it's in some sort of like read-only mode. Like it can read from the sim, but it can't write to the sim. Yeah, we're in France at the moment, but when I'm back, I'm going to try and get stuck into New Sky. Yes, Tom, do it. We'll be pleased to have you, Tom. How's France? I like France. I want to go back to France. I'd be fat as a pig if I lived in France. I think I'd be pretty much 2 parts pissed all day long on all the cheap wine, and I'd just eat cheese like a mouse. Probably wouldn't be good for me to live in France. But we do like France. My parents are off to France. They love it. Well, the weird thing is, Doc, I'm on my second set of units from them because the first ones got damaged in shipping. Like, honestly, the courier, I don't know what they did, but they flipping must have drop-kicked my package. Like, it had a big, like, chunk out of one of the corners, and I was like, oh no, this is bad. Have I booked my Bristol stand number? I have not. Can you do that? I'll go where Dan sends me. I'm not fussy. You passed your driving test. Nice. Well done. 0 minors. I got 7 minors. But I did pass first time. Remember the instructor was like, right, now let's talk about your mistakes at the end. I was like, do you mean the minors? He's like, yes, but I call them mistakes. I was like, oof, alright. Where'd you go from Portsmouth? Is that down to, oh, what's it called? Don't tell me. Begins with a C? Does it? Cherbourg? 7878 Lufthansa triple emergency over Scotland. Oh. I hope that's all okay. Where does it look like they're going to land? Le Havre. Ah, okay. Did Plymouth to Roscoff once. That was quite cool. The overnight crossing. I like that. You just basically fall asleep and you wake up and you're in France. It's like a little hotel room for the night. Big fan of that. Right, I'm going to change my cost index to 5, which brings my top of descent to only 30 miles. On New Sky, when I log into VATSIM, do I use the flight number New Sky gives me? You can, but you don't have to. So, for example, if I'm flying as Ryanair for the day on VATSIM, just for, you know, a laugh, I'll book the flight in New Sky and it will give me, I don't know, X-Ray November Oscar 123, for the sake of argument. When I go onto VATSIM, I could do RYR 123, or what RYR, something completely different. As long as you start the flight in New Sky, it will still log that Ryanair flight as if it's an air not flight. Yeah, you and me both, Doc. I really want to make that video because I feel like it could help a hell of a lot of people out. I mean, we're just so lucky, aren't we, really, that we've got 3 good options, or 4 if you count mini FCU. We're eating good at the minute. We really are eating well. Do I have the MCDU? Yeah, and I've got the same issue with that. So there's something going on. Button presses on the MCDU do nothing, but if I click on the MCDU in the sim, the screen updates. Yeah, well, Tom, you can, you know, fly the different livery as well. The livery makes no difference at all. I mean, in fairness, Doc, Moser have been really good about it. Like, they've been like, don't feel under any pressure to get any content out. Just work it out. Don't worry about it. I mean, the replacement unit only just arrived yesterday because of all the shipping damage. We assumed that was potentially what might have been causing it, because I noticed that the heading dial, when you push it, that does a button press in the Moser cockpit, and mine was locked on, and wherever I pulled, pushed, twisted, whatever, I couldn't get it to come off. So clearly this software issue to one side, my unit was damaged. And they were like, we'll send you another one. And I was like, but it's like, we've missed the boat now by weeks for like the release window. It's like, do you even want to? No, no, we'll still do it. So fair play to them. They're very good about it. They're like, we value your opinions and your feedback, so please, you know, whenever you can, we'd love to see the video. But they're not being pushy in any way, so good to work with in that sense. And they could very well be quite within their rights to be like, come on dude, you've had it for ages, what the hell? But they've not done that at all, which I'm very thankful for. Right, what's Dan's frequency? 125,655. They're going to Glasgow, are they? Fair enough. But I can tell you from like a physical point of view, the units feel very good. I just can't actually get them to work. And the price is right, I would say. Bristol traffic out 639 Papa, flight level 360, descending for 7,000 feet on the Tojack 2 Bravo. Got to be something my end. Has to be. So obviously the first unit had the same issue. And I was talking to Moser about it, and I was like, well, it could be the fact that it's damaged, or it could be the fact that it's damaged and there's an issue. And of course the new one turns up undamaged, but we still have that software issue. Very sad. We'll figure it out. Yeah, so the MCDU dock, obviously, haven't used it, given what we've just said. The screen is a bit bigger. Apparently the screen is more realistic to the real thing compared to the wind control version, although I didn't actually know the wind control version wasn't 100% accurate until it was made aware, I was made aware that Moser had made a more accurate attempt, so I wasn't unhappy with wind control anyway, but whatever. The biggest thing for me is the button feel. Like the wind control ones, the buttons feel quite spongy. Like they're that kind of soft touch rubber. And if you catch a button on the corner of the squarey button, quite often the corner of the button will depress, making you think you've made a button press, but actually it hasn't registered because you didn't sort of press square on in the middle of the button. Now Moser still use that soft touch rubber for their buttons, but it feels a lot stiffer, and it feels a bit more forgiving, in that you can hit the button on the corner and you still then hear and feel the click, whereas wind control you can sometimes not get that button press. Yeah, I feel like the price of wind control, I'm willing to overlook it. Like I said in my original review, I've highlighted that, and I was like, you know, if I was paying $399 for this box, I would be a bit more fussy, but given the price that we've paid, it's I don't feel like I'm in much of a position to complain at that, because what are they, 100 and something quid? And it's like, look at what you're getting. That's a lot of technology for that price. But the Moser isn't an awful lot more. It is more, but it's not more by loads, is it? Wouldn't surprise me if we get like a Mark II from wind control at some point. So we'll see. We'll see. What are we at now? 30,000 feet. Grumpy's looking like he's well on the approach. We got coming into Bristol. What plane is that? A C-680. Is that a military plane? Or was that a private plane? Flippin' heck. Come a long way in that thing. That one's going Bristol from Dublin. In the 320. Is that, person that was in chat earlier? I've forgotten their name. Good old Blighty. We're back. Oh, man. I've got a bit of a stomachache today. Maybe it's that rice from last night. Progress is good, Pegas. We're in the descent now. We're doing all right. Hello, contact me passing Farjo in the descent to flight level 100. Yeah, so Dan's saying contact me passing Farjo in the descent to flight level 100. So we've got 10,000 in the box. Presumably he's going to manage our descent, speed, and vector us in. And what are we, 30 miles out from Farjo? What's the difference between Prestwick and Glasgow International then? I thought they were the same thing. Are they not? Not too familiar with Glasgow. So EGPF, what's that? Is that Glasgow International? Oh, Prestwick's over on the coast, I see it. I don't know then. Good. I'm going to get this passenger strapped in. I had an Air Force One call sign the other day at Dublin and it wasn't Air Force Proud. I love Air Force Proud, he's funny. When we landed into Dublin last weekend, or weekend before last, we landed on 28 left and then taxied up to, is it stand 106? And you go past where the private jets park and the WWE jet was parked up there. Like there's a whole like private jet with like, you know, the WWE logo all over it. Which I thought was quite interesting. I wondered whether there was like a wrestling event on in Dublin, and I asked the taxi driver and he was like, no, nothing at all. So I guess I googled it afterwards and they quite often stop there for refuelling apparently. If they're like on their way back to the States or have arrived from the States and are going on somewhere else. And when we came back on the Wednesday, there was a big football match in Dublin. It was, who was it? Was it Man United and was it Man City? Someone was playing in Dublin. A couple of Premier League teams are playing in Dublin. And I noticed there was a Boeing business jet parked up. And I googled it and it's like a charter company. I did wonder whether that was what was laid on for the team or one of the teams. Which would make sense because I remember we were walking through the city on like the day before and there was a massive queue outside of like a sports shop. It was like an Intersport or a Sports Direct or something. I don't know what it was, but JJB, whoever it was, there's a massive queue with like security. I was like, what the hell's going on in there? Probably some of the players in there doing a meet and greet or something, I would presume. Right, we're coming up About 5 miles out from Dam, so I'm going to switch over. Bristol traffic, Air 639 Papa, flight level 196, overhead Farjo, contacting tower approach for Bristol. Speed brakes, I think. Bristol approach, Air 639 Papa, flight level 185, overhead Farjo. Wrong frequency. Bristol approach, Air 639 Papa, flight level 175, overhead Farjo. One two five 655. Bristol approach, Air 639 Papa. One two five 655. Not responding on text either. Well then. It looks like my audio issues have caused no end of issue. Bristol approach, Air 639 Papa. Disconnecting from VATSIM. Yeah. Something's not right. I've disconnected from VATSIM now. We'll have to do the landing off of VATSIM. That's a shame. That's a shame. Yeah, I bet it's my Go XLR. I mean, it's saying all the right things in vPilot. It's looking at the right audio inputs, but it's clearly clearly bugged somewhere. Oh, what a shame. It is Thursday, isn't it? Oh well. What can you do? More drag. I can do that. Jake's off to Rhodes. Where's that one going? Rhodes as well. Group flight to Rhodes, love it. Right, we've got a decel point coming up. Get the landing system armed. No, that's a pity. I feel like I'm just plagued by technical issues at the moment. Time for us to decel. Because there's Bristol, and we're going to teardrop out and come back in. (1006) for the QNH. Flaps 1.
You must now be seated for landing. Thank you.
Yeah, I go, thank you for following on Twitch. So I thought you were going to say on YouTube then. Seeing as I just saw you on YouTube. Right, let's get up to 185 knots, keep the speed up. Should have a good 10-mile final. How much space you need to have for Flight Sim 24? Not a lot, because unlike 2020, it streams it all as you fly around. So you don't need to download it all to your computer. The airport should be sort of behind us. Well done, Sim. I've had to disconnect. I've got audio issues. I couldn't debug it in time and I didn't want to cause the controller a mess, so... Bit of a shame. Feel like we've waited all this stream for a bit of ATC at the end, but yeah, what can you do? So, according to Navigraph, we've got 15 knots down the runway, 1 knot either side. So, fair old headwind, but nothing too crazy. This BRI-1 transition when you're coming up from the south for 27 or coming in from the west. Very handy. No, this is it for today. Go. Go 160. Flaps 3. Go flaps full. What's the plans for moving the sim around? I'm going to move this way, so I'll have more width, and I'm going to get rid of the bit of desk. I've got like an L-shaped desk, so I'm going to get rid of one side of the L, just have one straight desk, and free up a load more room for gear and camera angles and such. Hopefully, try and improve the streams a bit. Ah, you can always see Bristol through the clouds. It's that little lump there. I don't know why one of the terminal buildings always shines through like that. Am I planning a get-together? I think the organisers said they were going to organise some sort of thing in the evening. I mean, I'll be staying at the Travel Lodge across the road, so it won't be too far away. Okay, let's go final approach speed. Right. Flaps full, speed brake armed. We will go around altitude in just a moment, once we are below 2,500, which we now are. Gear is down, auto brake medium. Let's give this a go then, shall we? Oh, it's a shame we didn't get the ATC. I'm annoyed at my Go XLR now for bugging on me. It was the right thing to do, like we couldn't have carried on, like not being able to communicate with the controller. Is that your prediction, Joanna? I was a bit of a bouncy McBounce face last time I was here. Right. My plane.
1,000. One thousand.
1,000. Two reds, two whites. Looks very good now with Sim Update 6, doesn't it? I don't feel like I'm way too high. Which is very nice indeed. I appreciate that a lot.
$500. $100 above. Minimum.
Continue.
$100. 50, 40, 30, 20. Retard. Retard.
There we go. Welcome to Bristol. There goes my right engine. Keep it rolling. Come on. I didn't even see what the pop-up was there for the landing. Oh, I tell you what, that Sim Update 6 thing with the Pappies, very, very pleased with that. And the good thing is, because we're not on VATSIM, we can just park where we want now. Oh! Thank you, SoFly. Oh, I thought we were going to get crash the desktop then. Alright, let's clean up the wing. Flaps away. Speed brakes down. Speed brakes. APU start. I might go for stand 2-3. Yeah. Very, very pleased about the Pappies with Sim Update 6. I feel like that's been such a thing, isn't it? It's always been like, well, you want 3 reds, because 3 reds is basically where you want. And then when you get 4 reds, it's not really 4 reds, it's like 3 reds. There have been so many times that I've landed and like I've got 4 reds, but the pictures looked at pretty much like what we just saw then. Just too bad we didn't get to speak to Dan. I was looking forward to a bit of ATC from Dan. He's very, very good controller, is Dan. Quite often does Bristol on a Thursday, which kind of made me think last night, oh, if we come back to Bristol from Malaga, will we get to say hello to Dan? Of course we would have done, had my audio solution not completely failed on us at Malaga. I still don't know why that happened. Absolutely no clue. Hello David, you alright? You got the Moses in the end, did you? Yeah, I've not tried the wind control ones, but I get the impression they're probably quite similar. I did alright, Grumpy, I think. My only trouble was I had to disconnect from VATSIM because of my audio issues. I couldn't get any audio out onto vPilot, and I didn't really have time to debug it, so I just told the controller I'm really sorry, but I gotta go. Which is a shame. We're going in here if the Phoenix would give me a bit more welly. There we go. Oh, never mind, Grumpy, it happens. Believe me, I know. I feel like Bristol's taxiways sometimes have like loads of friction. Yeah, Mom. Well, it's been a Thursday. We've had our fair share of tech issues, so it's been a regular Thursday at least. Come on. Little bit more. Little bit more. I want 4 zeros. Ah! Can I get a little bit more out of it without overshooting? There. Beautiful. Right, APU's on. Let's get my engine off. Let's close the flight. Yeah, got 10 out of 10. 136 feet per minute in challenging conditions. You know. Let me just put that there. 123 feet. Sorry. 136 feet per minute. 1.23 G. Challenging conditions. Barely a metre off the centre line at worst case. You're welcome. You're all welcome. Happy with that. Bit of Joanna, stop it. There's always somebody that's got to say something. One of these days I'm going to get it right on the markers, unbelievably smooth, and then you won't know what to say. Oh, that's good. That was a nice flight though. 14k made for the VA, that's not too bad either. We weren't even full. A good day was had by all. It was indeed. Oh, guys, thank you for coming along. I've had a very nice morning. I'm probably going to tear my setup to bits now, which I may live to regret the moment I start doing it, but yeah, I think it probably needs to happen, and then we can get some wind control FCU stuff going on here. So that's good. Thank you for all the support today. What did the poll end up being, actually? Is the poll finished? Okay, so are you going to buy the Unibuilds A380 poll? 138 votes. 25% of you said yes. 49% said no. 28% said I don't know. So I'd be interested to see what happens on that front. Let me know if you guys get it. I mean, if they're putting teasers out on Twitter saying big things are happening this week, presumably it's going to be tonight or tomorrow, surely. I don't know. I feel like partially obligated to get a livery done for it one way or another. Whether that means I have to buy it or not, I don't know. Yeah. Well, keep me updated if any of you buy it. And I will see you again. I might do that Canaries thing on Saturday. I'm tempted to have a go at that, because I've got Saturday off work, which I'll have more to talk about that soon. And there's that VATSIM event, isn't there? So Friday's when we get Malta, so maybe then. Okay, yeah, maybe. Would you take an A380 to Malta though? That seems like a weird... If they were like releasing Singapore or something on Friday, that would make more sense. Can you get an A380 into Malta? Do A380s go to Malta? Don't know. Anyway, I need to start thinking about ripping this room apart, which I may get halfway through and panic and then undo it all and go back to the way I am. But yeah, hopefully I'll have something put back together in time for a stream on Saturday for the Canary thing. So if, maybe talk about that in the Discord. If any of you want to come along, we can have a little train going down there. Have a lovely rest of your afternoon. Thank you for all your support today. I appreciate all of you. Couldn't do it without you. I know I always say that, but I really do mean it. And yeah, have a lovely Thursday and Friday. Toodaloo!